Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's your national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. My name is Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Kasuni Balachandradikari. We start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Sugishwara Bandara to remand custody from until the 1st of July. Writ petition filed by Gotabaya Rajapaksa not to take him into custody taken up for consideration. Wazim Akram endorses Sri Lanka as world's #1 tourist destination. Train services from Badulla to Nanoya to commence on the 20th of this month. Dengue patient figures reach 44,000. 27 deaths reported. Cleaning of state and private institutional premises tomorrow. Permanent appointments for 192 acting sub-postmasters. Presidents of Iran and USA signed peace accord. World oil prices in downward trend. Gold prices up. And now your news in detail. Now the Colombo Fort's Magistrate, Pasan Amarasena, has ordered to remand Sugishwara Bandara, who was arrested and he is kept in custody until the 1st of next month.
The police says the suspect was taken into custody in connection with a financial fraud alleged to have taken place under the votes of the president. Sugishwara Bandara had functioned as a private secretary of former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He had also acted as a special project director general. The investigation against the suspect is being conducted according to a complaint filed by the Central Criminal Investigation Bureau on the financial fraud presented by the Presidential Special Investigation Commission on Anti-Corruption. Accordingly, Sugishwara Bandara was arrested in Kolpiti today. The crime division will further investigate on misuse of government vehicles as well as deployment of workers on political activities during the period the suspect was holding portfolios.
Now, hearing of the writ petition submitted by former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa requesting to issue an order preventing him being arrested in connection with the Easter Sunday terror attack has commenced today. The case is being heard before the appeals court. A President's Counsel appearing on behalf of the petitioner has told the judiciary that the Constitution of the country has acknowledged the right of freedom of the individual. He added that his client was not called for any investigation and also stated that he had not created any impact on the witness of the case. The court has postponed further hearings till the 24th of this month.
Reconstruction of the Ambevela Nanoya portion of the railway track destroyed by the Ditwa cyclone has been completed. The Department of Railways says that accordingly, train transport from Badulla to Nanoya will be recommenced on the 20th of this month. 134th milepost area of the Ambevela Nanoya railway line was affected by the Ditwa catastrophe. Reconstruction of the destroyed railway track had become difficult due to the area which was located in a mountainous slope, and therefore bringing of necessary machinery and raw material by train was carried out amidst inclement weather conditions and other obstacles. The affected railway line was repaired according to the instructions of National Building Research Organisation. A test train was deployed on the newly reconstructed Ambevela Nanoya railway track yesterday.
Today is the 4th day of the Dengue Control Week. Cleaning of schools, preschools and private tuition classes is being conducted island-wide today. Now, according to the Ministry of Public Administration, local government and provincial councils, cleaning of government and private institutions as well as industrial premises under the Dengue Control Program will be conducted tomorrow. Deputy Minister of Health Dr. Hansaka Vijayamuni says that stern legal action will have to be taken against those who are not taking proper steps to control dengue. Deputy Minister Hansaka Vijayamuni said that there was a slight challenge in the virus spreading at the time. He explained that because of this change, a large number of patients were being affected, although it did not mean that public got infected the moment the virus appeared. He added that during the years when such viral mutations occurred, a high number of cases were typically reported. Furthermore, he noted that two types of mosquitoes acting as disease vectors were Aedes albopictus and Aedes aegypti. The Deputy Minister mentioned that they also observed high larval density for these two mosquito species since the beginning of that year. A special program was organized today by students and staff of Epawela Sri Siddhartha National School to raise awareness among the public. A march was organized by the students displaying instructions and placards in order to enlighten residents of the area regarding the prevention of the breeding of mosquitoes, including the spread of the dengue. A street drama was also presented on this occasion. Community health specialist Dr. Prashila Samaravira of the National Dengue Control Unit says 43,559 dengue patients have been reported island-wide, 27 deaths as well. Community health specialist Dr. Prashila Samaravira of the National Dengue Control Unit explained that due to the intermittent rainfall experienced at the time, half febrile illness was prevalent in the environment, including influenza, leptospirosis, common viral flu and dengue. She advised that if anyone, especially otherwise healthy individual, suffered from a fever lasting more than 2 days and exhibited at least 2 symptoms such as high fever, headache, body aches, muscle pain, vomiting and nausea, it was reported for them to consult a doctor or confirm whether they had dengue. She emphasized that until seeing a doctor, only paracetamol-based medications could be used to reduce the fever. Finally, she stressed that it was crucial for any individual, whether a school child or an adult, to take complete rest if they had a fever. Since there is a risk of spreading dengue in the Anuradhapura district during the monsoon season, a dengue control program to prevent the spread of it commenced yesterday. Anuradhapura Municipal Council, Police and Sri Lanka Army joined conducting a cleaning operation of dengue mosquito breeding areas in school.
Permanent appointments were made today to 192 acting sub-postmasters. It took place at the postal headquarters under the patronage of the Minister of Health and Mass Media, Dr. Nalendra Jayantissa. The objective of this is to transform the sub-post office network into a system that provides a more efficient and quality service. The Department of Posts has implemented a number of programs towards this end. Out of 196 individuals who have been serving as acting sub-postmasters since 2019, those who met the qualifications were awarded permanent appointments in this manner. This is a permanent pensionable post. Appointments for 303 vacancies in the postal services officer grade are also scheduled to be given in July.
And in more local news, a discussion regarding the contribution of Sri Lanka Customs in order to operationalize the National Export Development Plan was held yesterday at the President's office, led by the Secretary to the President, Dr. Nandika Sanath Kumar Nayaka. It was organized by the Revenue Administration, Reform and Modernization Bureau of the Presidential Secretariat. Extensive discussions were held regarding the modernization program to be conducted within Customs to expand exports. The Secretary to the President instructed Customs to create an environment where exporters can conduct export activities by increasing the capacity of export container inspection centers and facilities as well. Attention was also focused on the possibility of decentralizing customs activities in expanding the export sector. Now, a review was held yesterday about the implementation of special policy budget proposals and projects implemented at ministerial level as the budget proposals of 2026, led by Secretary to the President Dr. Nandika Sanath Kumar Nayaka. Discussions also focused on broadly pertaining to the prompt action to be taken to solve the problems arisen during the implementation of projects and solutions to be taken in this regard. Secretaries to the ministries, government officials and a number of others were present at this occasion.
Cricket legend and renowned commentator Wasim Akram has delivered a glowing endorsement of Sri Lanka, describing the country as the world's #1 holiday destination. Having visited the island since 1985, Akram praised Sri Lanka's breathtaking landscapes, warm hospitality and rich cuisine, saying the country remains close to his heart and surpasses every destination he has experienced around the globe.
I mean, I've been coming here since 1985 when I was 17 years old and fall in love with the place, with the people from the day one, and been touring here as a cricketer, as a commentator, most importantly as a tourist. Whenever I go for a holiday, most of the time I do come to Sri Lanka because I think apart from the country is stunning, the people are just wonderful. Sri Lanka, like I said, always has been very, very close to my heart. Love coming here, love the people and love the food. And what a stunning country. I mean, obviously Gaul I saw, but a couple of places that took me up in the mountains with the raging river behind me was stuff of the, when you dream of that was the place, and that is Sri Lanka for me. In my opinion, Sri Lanka should be the #1 holiday destination in the world, because I have seen the world. But this place takes the cake.
On that positive note, more stories coming your way right after this break.
Love rugby.
Live rugby.
Prima Kotumi.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Welcome back, and in more local stories, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya states that the government's objective is to open up opportunities in the new world for all children without any discrimination.
And the Prime Minister stated this while participating in the annual prize-giving ceremony of Kurunegala St. Bernadette Model Primary School during an educational observation tour conducted in the Kurunegala district today. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya stated that everyone was aware that all plans were made with the expectation of making transformative changes in education. She emphasized that this was not only for the curriculum, but also to develop human resources and infrastructure within education and to open up the new world that children needed. She added that they must create a feeling among all children without any discrimination that the opportunities within the new world were open to them. She further mentioned that if a child has a dream, they must build the necessary background and confidence for them to pursue that dream, and that was why they were looking at all these things. The Premier stated that they expected to move forward with any changes and transformations in the future. The Prime Minister noted that they hoped to introduce digitalization to ease their work in education, introduce new subjects, strengthen the teacher training session and increase opportunities for children. Characterizing it as a struggle, she mentioned that everyone knew nothing was achieved easily. However, she concluded that if they had worked hard now, they could build that future for their children without any fear for the future. Subsequently, the Prime Minister also engaged in an observation tour of Kurunegala St. Bernadette Model Primary School. Afterwards, the Prime Minister also visited Mahava Ridi Bandi El Gajanigama Mahavidyalaya and engaged in a cordial discussion with students and the teaching staff.
Former parliamentarian Ashumar Singh says that there have been attempts to remove him from the UNP by a group which is acting with an opposition group accused of corruption. He made these remarks at a media briefing today. Former MP Ashumar Singh dismissed a recent announcement claiming that he was no longer a member of the UNP, describing it as a fabricated statement created by a faction opposed to the unification of the UNP and the Samaga Janapala Vekaya. He argued that the statement lacked credibility because it referred to a UNP central committee, whereas the party actually operates through a working committee. According to him, this demonstrated that those behind the announcement were unfamiliar with the party's internal structure. Ashumar Singh alleged that a group within the UNP, which had aligned itself with the Rajapaksa camp, was responsible for the move. He criticized individuals associated with that faction, claiming that they were rejected by the public due to allegations of corruption and misconduct. He further stated that he could not work with such a group and reiterated his support for bringing the UNP and SJP together. He said he had previously urged former President Ranil Wickremesinghe to distance the party from those elements and pursue unity between the two parties. Concluding his remarks, he claimed that a power-seeking faction linked to fraud and corruption was behind what he called the fake UNP and was attempting to obstruct efforts to unite the opposition.
You may not be aware of the runner who earned the highest respect across the world as the greatest loser in Olympic history, or rather the undefeated loser. He was Ranatunga Karunananda. It is a special highlight that his story has even been included in school textbooks in Japan. In the 1964 Olympic Games held in Tokyo, Japan, Ranatunga Karunananda participated in the 10,000-meter track event. By the time the majority of runners, including the gold medalist, had finished the race, Karunananda still had 4 more laps to complete. Even though all the other athletes left the track, he kept running all by himself with the sole determination of finishing the race somehow. A special highlight was that when he finished running those 4 laps, sports fans in the entire stadium stood up from their seats cheering and extending their congratulations to Karunananda. Expressing his views to the media after the race, he stated that the most important thing in Olympics is not just winning but participating and finishing the race. The President's Fund has decided to provide financial assistance to the wife of Ranatunga Karunananda, who earned the respect of the entire world in this manner. An amount of 20,000 rupees is scheduled to be provided monthly for her medical treatment and nutrition. A group, including the President's media director Sisira Senpati, visited her residence in Dumkannava, Nath Tandi, and presented her with the first check.
And in your stock update today, the Colombo Stock Exchange ended today's trading positively. The all shares price index closed at 23,292.91 after rising by 278.16 points, which represents a 1.21% change.
Now in your weather update tonight, several spells of showers are expected in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces, as well as in the Galle, Matra, Kandy and Norele districts. Well, that was a look at your local news. For news on the other side, stay tuned. History was made today. Now, a historic memorandum of understanding aimed at ending the United States-Iran conflict has been signed electronically by the presidents of both countries.
Reports indicate that the agreement signed by the US President Donald Trump and Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has already come into effect.
Following the agreement reached between the two sides, immediate steps have been taken to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and lift naval restrictions that had been imposed in the region. It is reported that President Trump signed the document ahead of a state dinner held at the Palace of Versailles in France. Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif had confirmed the agreement was reached through the mediation efforts of Pakistan and Qatar. Under the new agreement, Iran is required to refrain from producing or acquiring nuclear weapons. Washington authorities state that the United States have agreed to remove sanctions imposed on Iranian oil exports. Political analysts describe the agreement as a decisive turning point that could bring an end to the conflict environment in the Middle East. A spokesman for Iran's foreign ministry stated that the direct signatures of both heads of states have strengthened the legitimacy of the agreement. An official ceremony to celebrate the historic accord and launch further technical level discussions on regional stability is scheduled to take place in Switzerland tomorrow. Video footages of US President Donald Trump signing the agreement has been shared on the official X account of French President Emmanuel Macron. President Macron stated that the agreement would help establish lasting peace in the region and facilitate the reopening of the Strait Strait of Hormuz. Israel has reportedly expressed reservation regarding the inclusion of a ceasefire agreement in Lebanon as a part of the agreement. Foreign media report that airstrikes continue to target certain areas in southern Lebanon. Months of Israeli airstrikes have reportedly left several towns in the region completely devastated. Although residents have attempted to return to their homes, uncertainty remains high. Airstrikes are also continuing in the Nabat area. Military analysts suggest that Israeli forces are attempting to secure strategic high grounds and territories that have remained beyond their control. The US president had reportedly urged Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to adopt a more restrained approach regarding Lebanon. Trump has expressed concern over the continued Israeli airstrikes in southern Lebanon, despite the broad agreement between the US and Iran to halt hostilities across all fronts. Global crude oil prices have fallen significantly following the signing of a historic US-Iran ceasefire agreement. Reports indicate that oil prices, which had risen temporarily amid tensions, are now declining as political stability returns to the region. Brent crude prices in Asian markets have dropped by 2.3%. Economic analysts attribute the declining directly to the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and the lifting of sanctions on Iranian oil exports. Meanwhile, global gold prices have moved higher today. Reports indicate that prices rose by more than 3% at the start of the North American trading session. This marks the first time since February that gold has reached such elevated levels. Accordingly, the price of gold had climbed to $4,351 per ounce.
Now more news from abroad. Thousands of visitors are flocking into Donhae city in South Korea to experience the Myeoreon Yeovolen Cheonji Lavender Festival, which is now in full bloom. A stunning 20,000 square meter lavender field was transformed, a former quarry, into a vibrant purple landscape attracting tourists and photography enthusiasts alike. Visitors praise both beautiful scenery, relaxing fragrance, and a variety of activities available at the festival. Organizers say that the event has become a popular attraction, with many people sharing their experiences on social media. The Lavender Festival will continue until June 21st. And now in your sports news tonight, Sri Lankan champion javelin thrower Ramesh Taranga has reached the second spot in world rankings.
He achieved this feat when he won the gold medal at the Ostrava Golden Spike Athletics Championship held recently in Czech Republic. Ramesh Taranga secured the second spot in world rankings with a score of 1,333 points. Previously, he was in the third place of the rankings. Julian Webb of Germany is occupying the first place in world rankings right now, while Granada athlete Anderson Peters occupied the third spot. Ramesh Taranga won the gold medal in the javelin throw event at Ostrava Golden Spike Athletics Championship held recently in Czech Republic, clearing a distance of 86.57 meters in his second attempt. He won the silver medal at Rabat Diamond League Athletics Championship recently on the 31st of May and won the gold medal at Rome Diamond League Athletics Championship on 4th of June. At the same time, setting a new Sri Lanka record, he is also expected to participate in the Doha Diamond League Athletics Championship, which will be held tomorrow. And in most sports news, the match between Portugal and Congo of the FIFA World Cup Football Championship ended in a draw with 1-1.
Now the match was played at the Houston Stadium in Houston, USA. The match was the 23rd of the championship. João Neves of Portugal scored the first goal of the match in the 6th minute. Congo, displaying a skillful display of football, scored a goal in the 45th minute, which entered into the record books as the first goal scored by Congo in a football championship. Yon Vesa scored a historic goal for Congo and the match ended in a draw 1-1. Meanwhile, the match between England and Croatia was played at the Dallas Stadium in USA. In the first half of the match, England scored 2 goals. Now we move on to the match between England and Croatia, which was played at the Dallas Stadium in USA. Now, in the first half of the match, England scored 2 goals, while Croatia scored 2 goals. Accordingly, the first half ended 2-2. In the second half, though, England scored another 2 goals, while Croatia failed to score as many a goal. England won the match as a result.
Away we go.
Ghana recorded a victory over Panama, which was played at the Toronto Stadium in Canada. Both the teams failed to score goals in the first half, while Ghana team scored a goal in the second half. Accordingly, Ghana team won the match 1-0. Match was played between Uzbekistan and Colombia as well.
And that is that moment for Uzbekistan.
In the match between Uzbekistan and Colombia of the championship, which was played at the Mexico City Stadium, the match played under Group K. Colombian team registered a victory, 3-1. And that was a look at your news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira, together with Kasumi Balachandra Adhikari. Wish you a pleasant evening and a great rest of the week.
Good night.